Guys, Alex here. Today I'm going to talk about what to do after WGU. What are the steps? I'm going to provide all that information for you. And even if you do not attend WGU, this actually works for every college. So most of my watchers, half my watchers are WGU attendees. And that's why I phrased this video post WGU. However, anybody can watch this video and it goes for any college, any university. Now, WGU and this economy in general, it's a bit tougher to get a job, right? The past 3-4 years, it's been a little tougher for college graduates, especially in the tech industry, to get a job compared to it was 5 to 6 years ago. However, it's still extremely possible. Now, the days of just graduating a computer science degree and putting in zero effort to get a software engineer job, those days are kind of gone. You do have to put in effort, but it is kind of over-exaggerated, like how much effort is needed. But you do have to put in effort. The only students that get a job with almost no effort are like Harvard and MIT grads and maybe some other Ivy League schools. They can graduate and some company will make them an offer pretty fast. Now, most of the time, university does not matter to the job. The only time it really matters is if it is like Harvard or MIT or something along those lines. And then yes, they do get picked up probably their senior year or whatever. Now, is that really worth $100,000? No, I would not pay $100,000 for like a guarantee of a job that only pays like $150,000 a year starting. So to me, that's not a great trade-off. So I would rather pay $4,000 to $8,000. Let's say you do 2 terms at WGU, right? You do a bunch of ACE credits from places like study.com. You transfer in over half your degree. Let's say we're going to be conservative here, right? So let's say you do 2 terms at WGU. So maybe the ACE credits cost you like $1,200 at the most. And then you did 2 terms at WGU, which would be $8,000. And if you had no financial aid, overall, your total degree cost would be like $9,200 out of pocket. So that's not bad compared to like a $100,000 degree at Harvard or somewhere else. $9,200 would be extremely affordable. So the first step here would be to make a LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is very important. However, it has gotten saturated. So LinkedIn alone is not going to get you a job. However, one step I would make is make a LinkedIn, have a professional photo, especially if this is like your first job with no experience, you want like a really professional photo. It could be you in a suit or just really formal attire. Now, if you already have experience, like 2-3 years, you can use a more casual photo, but not too casual, if you know what I mean. Like more of a business casual if you already have experience. But without experience, you do want like a pretty formal photo because you're trying to get a job here. You're trying to get your first job in this specific industry. And like you can go out and get a professional photo taken by a photographer, dress well in like a suit. If you're a woman, dressed in like formal attire, it would really go a long way to recruiters and hiring managers. So you're going to want to make your LinkedIn look really nice. Put your degrees on there, put some skills on there. Pay for premium. I think it's worth it, at least for a few months. It's like $35 a month or something, which is, in my opinion, worth it. It also comes with like 3 job preferences a month. So what this is, it's called Top Job Applicant. I think it's called Top Job Applicant. So what this does is you get 3 per month, and a job you really, really like, okay? You can put your resume at the top of the pile. You can put your application at the top of the pile where your application gets looked at first. You can only do that 3 times per month. The way I would do that is actually I wouldn't do it with a job that's getting thousands of applicants. I would actually do it with like one that's getting 100 to 200 applicants and then, test your luck with your application being at the top of the pile. I do prefer LinkedIn Jobs, and we'll get into this in a second here. Or let's just drift right into this. So LinkedIn Jobs is the best job board, in my opinion. Number 1 is LinkedIn Jobs, and number 2 is Indeed. And those are the only 2 I use. So those are the 2 best, in my opinion. I've been using Indeed since like it first came out, before it was even popular. Like it just got really popular because it was the best. Like it was by far the best, and that's why I used it. Even when it wasn't popular, that's why I used it, is because it was really good. So those are the 2 you want to use, LinkedIn, Indeed. There might be some others that are decent as well, but those are the 2 that are like really good. You can also search, like if you want to work for a specific company, just go for their own careers page and see if they're hiring. Because sometimes they won't actually post it on one of these job boards because they know people people are going to check their company page and apply. So like Apple's one of those. Apple does post on Indeed quite frequently, but they'll have tons of job listings on their career page. And other companies do the same thing. So you might get lucky and find something there. So that would be the second step in this process. After creating a LinkedIn, you want to look at these job boards. Now, I'm not saying apply yet, though. Do not apply yet. So I'm kind of doing these steps out of order. So step 1 is make a LinkedIn. Step 2 is because LinkedIn has gotten really saturated, you want to start a portfolio website. And you want to buy a custom domain. It's like $10 a year. You guys can afford $10 a year. So you want to buy your firstlastname.com. Now, if you have a common name, you can throw your middle name in there. You know, your first middle last name.com, or basically something formal, something professional looking. You know, it doesn't have to exactly be your first name, last name.com, but something professional sounding.com. Now you can also use other things too. So if you really don't want to use .com, let's say your first last name is taken, you can use .dev. If you're in the tech industry, you can use .dev, which is really popular. You can use .tech, which I don't like .tech, but you can use that one too. There's lots of different ones you can use. You can use .ai if you're going for AI jobs, right? Although the AI domain is quite expensive at $80 a year. So there's tons of different domain names you can use. However, the domain name is the easy part. So how do you set up this website? Now, there's plenty of templates you can use on places like WordPress and Ghost and Beehive. Like, there's lots of templates you can use if you don't want to develop your own website. However, I would highly recommend you guys develop your own website. And you could do this in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, I just made a portfolio website. It's actually been done for like a month. I just haven't really released it. I worked really hard on this site, and it's just HTML and CSS. There's no JavaScript at all because I wanted a very minimal website. I feel like JavaScript's amazing, but it can make a portfolio website look a little too busy. So I wanted to see how far I could go with just HTML and CSS. And I think it came out pretty well. And I might release that website this week. And when I do, check the video description of this video. If you're watching this video like 5 days after it comes out, it might be in the video description. The website will be alexshep.com, which is, if you go there right now, there's no page is going to load. But I will also sell that template if you guys want to buy it. I'm debating selling it for like $80. If you guys don't want to make your own custom website and you just want to buy mine, you can buy that for like $80. And maybe I'll sell it for cheaper. I'm not sure. And then I'll just show you the steps on how to upload it for free. And the only thing that would cost you is the domain for like $10 a year. And that's it. And I'll show you how to put it on Cloudflare for free. They have free web pages. You can upload my template there, and everything will work very flawlessly. So I'll show you guys how to do that. So recruiters get very impressed, and hiring managers get really impressed with your own website, because LinkedIn is not that impressive anymore. Everybody has a LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn was impressive 7-8 years ago, but it's not really all that impressive anymore. 7-8 years ago, it was like somebody went out of their way to make a LinkedIn. Now it's like you're almost required to have one, right? It's like standard. So it's saturated. Not everybody has a portfolio website, though, that has their firstlastname.com. That's still maybe like 7% of developers, and like 1% of like business degrees have their own website. And I would highly recommend everybody have their own portfolio website. And like I said, this would have it would have an index page. You want like an education page, eventually an experience page when you get experience. You want a professional training page, and you want a projects page, and you want to display your projects there, okay? So it's very important you develop a couple projects. And the website is a project, actually. Like, you can even put that as a project. I developed this custom website. So trust me, this would look extremely impressive regardless of which industry it is. Whether it's the tech industry or the business industry, you having your own portfolio website is going to look extremely professional, and I highly recommend it. So once you have your own LinkedIn and you have your own portfolio website, and stay tuned for that portfolio website video I'm going to make, because it will make you understand how to do that. And I will show you a full walkthrough on my portfolio website. Well, let me put on Do Not Disturb here so I don't get messages. Okay, sorry about that. So I will show you exactly what a portfolio website, in my opinion, should look like. Like I said, you could also use mine if you want. So after you have that, after you have your LinkedIn and your portfolio website, what is the next steps after that? So the next steps after those two, you want to craft a really good resume and you want to craft a cover letter. So as you get experience, cover letters are needed a little less as you have experience, and they're going to go based off that. But since you're trying everything you can with no experience, you want a cover letter for most jobs, especially a job you really want. And you want this cover letter to sound organic. You don't want it to sound like AI made it. You don't want it to sound like it's a generic cover letter you send to every single job application. Because I can guarantee you a hiring manager is going to read your cover letter and be like, he sends the same exact one, or she sends the same exact one to everybody. And that's not what you want. At least not, like, if it's a job you really want, then you don't want to send a very basic cover letter. Now, your cover letter should be 1 page maximum, definitely not 2 pages. Now, your resume can definitely be 2 pages, but 1 page is preferred. 2 pages is acceptable. 3 pages is fine if you have like 10 plus years experience and like your resume is just like super good and you want to display everything. You can probably get away with 3 pages. But overall, 1 to 2 pages is the standard. Like if you have no experience, your resume should not be like 3 pages by any stretch of the imagination. So one page looks really good. 2 pages is fine as well. Some people will tell you only do 1 page, but I think 2 is fine. My own resume is almost 2 full pages. So, and I would never go beyond that. I would never go to 3 pages, no matter how much I have to put on there. So overall, you want a clean, professional looking resume. Not busy. You do not want a busy looking resume, okay? What I mean is you want minimalism. Minimalism and professionalism, okay? Like go Google like minimalistic professional software engineer resume template. Then customize it to your liking. You can also have AI help you a little bit, although AI is not the greatest at making resumes, but you can try. And then you'll have to edit it to your liking, to be honest with you. But overall, you want a minimal, professional looking resume, but not too plain. Like you don't want too boring, okay? But you do want minimalistic. You want to find that nice middle ground, of minimalistic professionalism and not too plain and boring. You know, obviously never include your picture or anything like that. That's very unprofessional, at least in America. I've heard in other countries it's actually standard to include your picture, but in America, that is a big no-no, okay? Your resume is going to get trashed if you put your picture majority of the time. So it just looks really tacky. Now, like I said, every country is different. Every culture is different. I heard England, it's pretty standard to use their picture. In America and other countries, it is like a big no-no to do that. If they want to see your picture, they'll look at your LinkedIn. They'll look at your portfolio website. They'll Google search your name. Like if they want to see your picture, they'll find your picture, you know? So overall, those would be the steps that you would be doing. So another step would be, and this is optional, get a master's degree from WGU. So master's degrees at WGU can be really fast, 6 to 12 months. Many people complete the MBA in 6 months. Many people complete the tech masters in 6 months. The cybersecurity, I've seen multiple people do that master's degree in like 4 months or less. I'm in the software engineering WGU masters right now, and I'm on pace to complete it in 1 term myself as well. So if you can add something as valuable as a master's degree in 6 to 12 months, and you can get away with your current income right now or no income right now, I would highly take advantage of that master's degree because it would give you a leg over other new grads that just have a bachelor's degree. So I think that would be very valuable, adding a master's onto your resume before you even decide to try to apply for jobs. Now, also, you can take it the other way. It was like, hey, secure the bag as fast as you can. Like if you're doing your master's or like even during your bachelor's, right? Like you're almost done with your bachelor's, you still might want to apply for jobs like the whole time because, hey, why not secure the bag? So always try to secure the bag, always try to secure your money, secure your career the whole time. But like I said, adding a master's will help you further in your job hunt. It creates another extremely valuable thing on your resume, another extremely valuable asset. Now you might be wondering, what am I going to do with my master's from WGU? So my master's is a software engineering with a AI specialization. And obviously I never like to count my chickens before they hatch. So I will never say when I graduate. I always say when and if. Although it's looking very promising right now. I've done 7 out of the 10 courses. So I have a bachelor's degree in computer science and I have a master's. I'm probably going to have a master's degree in software engineering with a AI engineering specialization. Now I've debated going back into like iOS engineering and getting an iOS engineering job because I love it. I absolutely love iOS engineering. However, I want to get into something called Edge AI. And what is Edge AI? So that is, instead of a server-side AI, like all these AIs you use, the AI lives in your own web browser and it depends on your own computer resources. And I think this is the future. Right now, you have no privacy when it comes to AI. They all own your data. Every prompt you've ever typed to those AI, just like Google search, right? They own your history. Like OpenAI owns your prompt history. Claude, they own your prompt history. They can sell it. They can do whatever they want with it. That is the truth. Nothing you type is private. Some company owns that and other companies might own it too. There's no telling how many people might see what you type. And that is not something we want. So I think privacy AI is the future. And that means having either a large language model on your computer or having a client-based AI which lives in your web browser. And I'm actually developing one right now, and that will be part of my AI portfolio. This is independent of school. This was not a school project. So basically, it's a client AI. Like it lives in your web browser, and it depends on your own computer resources. So I'm pretty excited to show you that. When I do release it. Now, it's not going to be like a very smart model. It's like a GPT-2 or 3 equivalent. And it's just like, hey, here's Edge AI. I'll make this better eventually. But here is a AI that is dependent on your own resources and is completely privacy enhanced. Nobody owns this data except yourself. Nobody sees what you're typing. No company sees it at all. It's completely privacy focused. And I think that's where AI will be heading over the next 5 years. Is you're going to see more and more Edge AI, more and more like client-side AI. That is where the future is going to go because nobody's going to trust companies with their data. Nobody's going to trust, like you don't want your prompts to be seen by companies or owned by companies. So that's kind of where I'm going with my own degree as well. And I do plan to get a doctorate. I'm looking at Penn State's Doctor of Engineering program, which I do want to specialize in AI even further, which would be once again Edge AI. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Remember, you can get any job you set your mind to, and be on the lookout for my portfolio website video, which will go over my portfolio. And I'll also probably put that template up for sale if you guys want to buy it, but you can easily make your own or buy another template somewhere else too if you want. So once again, thank you so much for watching. If you guys like the video, please subscribe, like, and comment. When you do one of those 3 things, the video goes further in the algorithm. It makes YouTube happy. It makes me happy. It makes other people that find me happy. And I would really appreciate it. That is dependent on if I helped you. And I hope I did help you in some way. Trust me that you can get a job with these degrees. WGU degrees are absolutely terrific. Degrees from Thomas Edison State University are terrific. A lot of college degrees are terrific. You know, it doesn't really matter where you go to college as long as it's regionally accredited. Preferably nonprofit, but it depends on the school. Some for-profit schools actually have a decent reputation, like Grand Canyon. But for the most part, you do want like a nonprofit university and regionally accredited. So that is what you want. And you will get a job. Don't be scared of the industry. Don't be scared of the economy. If you put in the effort, I guarantee you, if you put in the effort and you're relentless, you will get that first job. You will get that first job in this new industry, okay? If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Also, you can message me on Facebook. You can go to my Facebook group, WGU Facebook group, Degree Hacking. The group is blowing up. We're getting 250 new members a day. And for 3 months straight, it was just 8 new members a day, 8 new members. And now we're getting 250 to 300 new members a day. And we're all helping each other. It's a really good group. So if you guys need WGU help whether it's during your degree, before your degree, or after your degree. It's a really good community. So go check out WGU Degree Hacking. I'll leave a link in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.